Hola, hola.
Well, it's about time.
Do you just sit around here and wait for me to show up or something?
You guys keep coming in here later and later. You got no idea.
Well, you know it doesn't get dark till like 10 o'clock anymore, right?
Oh, my God.
The band don't open up for another 3 hours.
W2KRY.
In 3 or more.
It sounds like it's open to me.
Yeah, but that's not rare and unfortunate DX.
No, not really. It's this awesome deaf Yaesu Mark V that I have.
Uh-oh, looks like I've got either a bad contact going on here in one of my relays or in my microphone here. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, you just took a hit. Don't do whatever you're doing.
Every now and then, when I key up the microphone, the relay doesn't snap over every time on the switchover relay.
It's a 50-50 shot. Either hit it with Windex or alcohol.
No. According to Ray, you got to pull the relay apart. You got to get a specific cleaner on the contacts, and you have to use a $100 bill, and you have to go back and forth on the relay contact with finger pressure 100 times.
Hey, Mark, it's just us. Don't ever do that again. Don't fly off the handle. It's just me and you. No. I reject your idea of reality and choose to insert my own. Don't do that again. He's not here. We're not talking about him. So you can use some. Just take a little squirt bottle. I think Windex would work, and just tramp on your foot switch there a couple times. It'd take care of it.
I don't have a foot switch, but wait a minute. We need to back up here a minute. I mean, on this frequency.
I'm only going to tell you this one more time. Don't go there. And it's worth every penny.
I want my money back. I want out of this timeshare.
So far, I'm the treasurer, and I don't see that you've paid anything for.
Oh, I paid with abuse. That's what I paid with. So it's going to be another night of crash and smash and bash and oh, God.
Snap, crackle, and pop. KB3EJZ.
Oh, look what just crawled out of the litter box.
Oh, yeah. And across the floor, too.
Was that thing live?
What are you doing on here this early at night?
Waiting for somebody to talk.
We're talking.
That's good.
You're not allowed to mention Ray.
Okay, you can go now. We're done talking.
What?
Bye-bye.
No, don't go. Don't go. I'm not laughing at you. That's perfect timing.
No, he's telling me how it is.
How you doing tonight?
Ray's not in here yet.
Hello, whoever all is out there. This is Gary, KB3EJZ.
Hey, Jerry, W2KRY, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I got my day in, and I came home. That's saying something. You fix any lawnmowers today? No, just all fixed now. I got a brand new motor.
Is it working?
Oh, yeah.
Where's Jerry at?
Hey, Gary, can I borrow a $100 bill from you for my dirty contacts and my microphone already?
No, I don't have one.
You don't have a $100 bill?
No, I don't. I got a 50.
Oh, well, that's only going to get half of it done.
Well, then you'll have to do it 200 times.
The other gentleman would like to know your QTH.
I am from Marysville, Pennsylvania. Zip code 17053.
Marysville, you say?
You know where that is?
It's not St. Mary's.
Don't lie.
I'm about roughly 6 miles north of Harrisburg, the capital city. That's 11:15, and 15 air miles from Martin.
Okay, now the truth comes out. I'm sorry you have to be subjected to that at such a close frequency.
Well,
You
wait a
guys
minute.
are in the
What's
wrong
this
end of
all
the
about?
state. I grew up in coal country out there in Indiana, PA.
Oh, you're a Westerner. Okay. Anyhow, what's wrong with Martin?
I tell you, they just beat up on me so much, and I have no idea why.
He's his own worst problem.
You got your amp on, Martin.
I do.
You got dinner.
I do.
Okay, because you dropped off there to about an F5, and then you came back, unless, of course, the band is just teasing us.
Oh, dude, it's not going to be leveled out for at least another hour yet.
I keep telling him to hit that thing with some Windex.
It's $100 bill, 100 dimes with finger pressure.
Okay, y'all have a good night. 73's W2KRY.
You said that twice already. You'll be. Do you think Jeffy will get on?
Did Jeffy have a wire?
Does it matter?
Well, if you don't have a wire, he ain't getting on, because he's not going to be able to tune up.
He could be out there. He could get it fixed up and have it ready.
Well, he obviously has other pressing things to get done.
Like?
Well, I have no idea, but it's probably house stuff.
That house is only so big, you know what I mean?
I know. Oh, and he wanted to build a studio downstairs in the basement.
For what?
For his eventual sitting around talking on the radio.
You don't talk on it now. Why would you need a studio to not talk on it?
Hey, I'm just relating what I've been trying to keep together.
Unbelievable. Well, we got the first 5 lines in York Memorial.
Ooh.
Yeah, today was pull a couple out, see how they fit, see if they're measured right, see what they look like, see what complications are for involvement, what kind of hardware, blah, 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 you know, we just, it all went very well. And we had the right hardware, so looks like it's going to be nearly as bad as they thought it was going to end up being.
So what? You have only 500 more to go?
180 more on that building, and I think 200 more in the MOB building.
I was close.
Yeah, then we have all the divider curtains, and then all the shower curtains, and oh, God.
Sounds like a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a few shekels. I might even be able to buy Jeffrey's amplifier since he don't use it.
Why? Is it going to be for sale?
He already offered it to me.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he was asking too much for it. I tried to cough him down about, $600 on it, but he wouldn't budge.
What, down to 6? Or just 600 less than what he was asking?
600 less than what he was asking.
Ouch.
Yeah, he's acting like it's brand new or something.
Well, what is it?
It's an AL 1500, an American.
Is that full output?
Oh yeah, I think it's got a single 8877 in it.
Well, this is still free.
Wow, you bounced way up there on that last one.
Well, you gonna come down? Why don't you drive down here tonight? Take this microphone up so I don't have to keep reminding you. Well, I don't know. It's kind of late now. Let me see. I was contemplating going up to the Saturday.
West Bloomsburg.
Yeah.
You want to drive all the way up there for another disappointing day?
I don't know. It might be. Might not. Looking for wire. Looking for some other things. I just don't know. Tom's going up. He's taking some people with him.
Well, we can help you. Tell me what's on.
Well, let's see. Last Friday we went out to dinner, and then we went down to Linda Speedway. It's way down 22, and we watched the slingshots and the midgets. Winged midgets. What? On what? It was on dirt track.
Yeah, back when you felt like a man.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. We were in Trump country.
Oh, no, tell me you didn't make dirt track great again.
Yeah, they made dirt track great again.
I bet you had liberals down there protesting it.
Nope, probably didn't find one.
And for your money.
KB3JZ, a little early.
Well, what happened to MUR?
I guess he left.
He can't handle it.
So, what are you talking about way up?
Way up?
Yeah.
Oh, you wait up to 20 over.
Only 20 over?
We're too close. We're seeing each other ground waves.
I'm done 40 over.
Yeah, but you're not using a log antenna.
Oh, I see. You guys buried out there in the ground.
No, it's not buried. It's just laying on the ground.
Oh, that way.
You're not supposed to bury it.
Well, that one fellow who was in there last night said he had to do something in the ground.
I guess you can bury it if you want, but mine is not. I figure it'll bury itself if I leave it out there long enough.
It might.
So Junior's got 12 posts done on the fence on the south side. For new fence, I gotta get some more fence wire. So he used all 50 foot. So I gotta get another 50-foot roll and that dirt pile of dirt that I had delivered, I used the last of that up today, putting it around the big tree and the goji berry bush, and wrapped all that crap up and got that out of the yard. And you should have seen the garbage that we raked out of there from taking that old fence down. Oh my God, it was like a landfill. I have told the borough, I don't know how many times, about Turkey Hill and its car wash and their dumpsters and where they're sitting. They never close their dumpsters. The crap just blows out of there, and there's people that are there doing what they're doing. A lot of garbage goes down into my property and just lines up that whole alley.
All their response was,
Sucks to be you, move. They make us lots of tax dollars. You don't. You suck. I don't want to hear it from you anymore. Stop calling them. So, borough, since I don't have any money to get a high-priced attorney and sue the living daylights out of the borough, I guess I'll just sit here and whine about it.
And go out and clean it up every so often. Up at my place, cemetery markers show up.
What I ought to do is I ought to bag it up in garbage bags and then sit it on the borough steps right in front of their door.
No, they'd interpret that as something else, and then you would be going to jail.
Oh no, I'll put a note right on the bag. Where it's from and why. Yep. No, I'll make the bag neat and I'll tie it so that you're not going to blow or it'll sit right there in front of the door. They'll have to pick it up and move it out of the way to open their door, and there'll be a note on there for them. Here's where all the garbage that every week that I pick up from this that you haven't dealt with yet is going to end up in front of your door every week until you decide to do something about this legally.
Well, the situation guaranteeing is they won't pay any attention to you, and then they'll find out where it came from, and they'll send a constable down to pick you up for doing that because you did something illegal. The only thing that you can do is find out who the elected officials are and run an anti-campaign against them, and then get them booted.
Well, that does sound juicy and delicious.
Then they worry about it.
Yeah, and then I'd really be in a thumbtack in their seat. Then they'd have all kind of reasons to come down on me and get rid of me.
Oh, yes, definitely. If you go by Democrat policies, if you can't buy somebody off,
They've been wanting this eyesore of a property out of here. Even when my grandfather was here, they were trying to get rid of him. Kind of like, third world consulate in the middle of their beautiful little tree city, It's just kind of a reminder of reality, that they're not living in.
So, across the street there is Middletown?
Yep, right across the street on White House Lane there. You cross White House, on the other side of the red light, that's Middletown.
So, yeah. You're the end of the road there.
Skid Row, and then goes Little Mexican Trailer Court.
Yeah, but that's Middletown.
Yes, I know.
That's not Heights-Fire Borough. You're at the end of the road there. You're at the end of their influence.
Audio. Okay, so what is going on here? Either the rig... Hold on a minute. Got to check some connections.
Why, standing wave went nuts?
You got to work here or not? One. Oh, there we go. That's looking gooder.
What was wrong?
Can you hear me?
No, I didn't hear you there for a second.
Yeah, see what he's doing? It's not wanting to key up right away. And I think it's in the radio contact.
Inside the radio.
Pull around with the little RCA connector in the back there. Maybe it's just they got a little dirty spot on it. Just running junk down here. You know how it is. But anyway, yeah, that situation's been going on now for, oh God, Back even when my grandmother was still alive, she used to bag this stuff up in bags, and she'd take it over every morning and sit it on the counter at Turkey Hill, and they'd say, "Thank you, Mrs. Wingard." She got so disgusted with them. That's back when it used to be a raspberry patch out there. That whole section there that's open, that grass right by the alley there, that used to all be a big raspberry patch right down through there.
What happened to the raspberry?
Well, when I wasn't around for a little while, my uncle mowed them all down and got rid of them because he got tired of having to deal with it, because he had to kind of take care of the property while nobody else was living here for a short period of time. So he had to mow all that and deal with all that, and he didn't want to do anything like that because that required work. And he ain't about work at all. So he just mowed them all down and killed them all.
Well, that'll do it.
So I tried to reestablish the raspberry patch when I got back here, but they never really retook. And now that we're doing the fence on that side, I had blackberries growing there real nice, and Junior came along and uprooted them to put the new fence in, so I had to move them again. So, it was loaded with blackberries too. They weren't ripe yet, but it would have been a great crop, but no more.
No, because it takes 2 years to establish the line.
Yep, so it'll be another 2 years, and they'll be further up the hill on the other side, closer to the propane tank. I moved them down there where the weedy area is. Where all my ground radial garbage is, they can't really mow it yet, the weed whacker. So anyway, the corner antenna post is still up, haven't came down. I got some band straps on them today. I got some heavier clamps it on there for extra support. Not that I think it really needed it, but anyway, so they're still good. And yeah, the loop was crazy last night. I was receiving everybody really good on the loop.
Well, last night was a good night.
I can't see the loop on the ground.
Till probably about, I guess about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I was listening, and then the snap, crackle, pop really came in.
Yeah, the band went long enough you could hear it. Yeah, I meant the log, loop on the ground. Yeah, in fact, Randy, I was on his mobile. I could hear Randy on the log, on the loop, on the ground antenna, but I couldn't make him out on the transmit antenna because the noise figure was too hot. He was already in the noise. But that loop on the ground there, that pulled him right out of that. So I got to give it thumbs up for that. Yeah, it seems to be doing what it's advertised to do.
Interesting. KV3JZ.
In Priorma. It does, however, like to receive my turbine when it becomes active.
Well, I was sitting down there at the Speedway yesterday, and the guys that were coming to pave the road pulled up with these, these portable lights.
Yeah.
Well, he snapped the pole over, all right, got everything supported, and started cranking it up, and 3 sections of pipe come right up out of the unit with the lights mounted on something.
Okay, all right, you lost me here somewhere. What's going on now?
I said 3 sections of pipe went up in the air when he was cranking his winch. And the first one would come up, and then as the first one was coming up, the second one was coming up too as well.
And this was for a traffic light?
No, those big bright lights, power generator unit for illumination.
Oh, like for construction at night stuff.
Yeah, those portable, big portable lights, floodlights.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you now. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't get a close look at it to see how the arrangement worked. the cable went up all the way to the top section, and then sort of disappeared. There was a pulley up there, and lo and behold, he's cranking her, and 3 pipes coming up out of the air.
Well, that's all internal, because those are hollow.
I understand.
That's kind of what you want to do, isn't it?
Yes, I wanted to see how they had that arrangement affected, how it's going to pull up all those 3 pipes.
Well, they probably do it the same way your tower does it, except it's just not a tower, it's just a circular shell of metal.
Well, I can see you pulling up the first one out, but how do you get the second one to come with it?
Well, it's just like, how does your tower do it?
My tower does it with another cable.
That's right, there's a cable and then there's another cable. There's 2 pulleys involved. As you crank and you take the pulley up, you shorten the length and it pulls everything up to its the smallest length.
How am I going to get that in a piece of pipe?
You're not, because you're overcomplicating this way more than you need to.
Oh?
You're going to do it exactly like I did down here, and you haven't come down to see how I did it yet.
No, I haven't.
You got some grand schemes in your mind there, Gary. You got some grand schemes, but man, you don't need to do all that. Really, you don't.
No, I just have to do it on the front corner of the house. The rest of the supports are all there.
That's right. Well, you come down here when you get the microphone. I'll show you how I did mine 2 corners down here on the fence towards my uncle's place there, and you'll see how that's done, and you'll want to do it that way.
Yeah, because I've got the clothesline out there. I can move that piece of junk I got up in the air, that A99, and get rid of that, and use that support. Or the other one that's out there on the fence, which really doesn't have to be on the fence. I can move it over to the clothesline pole that's already sticking in the ground, and support that all up from there, and then up to the tree, and then over to the other pole we got in the garage, and then down to the one I have to get in the front.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want that vertical in the middle of the loop. You're not going to want it on the side somewhere near the loop. You want that right in the middle of it.
What do you mean in the middle?
Your vertical, your multiband vertical.
Okay.
You want that in the middle of the loop.
Well, it won't be in the middle of it because we have to use the tree to support the loop.
That's why you're going to move the vertical over to the middle of the loop.
Why you got nothing there in the middle?
It's an opportunity to put something else up. Is this just becoming too complicated for you?
Yeah.
You got something in the middle. I even remember it.
What, flagpole?
It don't have to be a flagpole.
Well, it has to be tall.
It doesn't have to be that tall. That's a ground-mounted vertical. Right there in the corner of the steps, going up to your pool area, that's the middle of the loop.
Okay.
Mount it right there on that pole, right on the fence, right up above the line of the house right there, and put 3 or 4 radios under it. Because you're connected to that fence anyway for ground. That's part of your ground radio system.
I understand, but how do I put radials over concrete?
You get a 102-inch stainless steel whip, and you go out over the pool one way, and you go towards the house the other way, and then the other line you take and you connect down to the fence on a slow angle. You got to think outside the box, Gary. You got to get creative. You got to make your neighbors scratch their heads, stand and stare. When you can get your neighbors to do that in the back alley, just standing there and staring with their mouth agape, then you've accomplished your goal.
Oh, they've already done that.
That's when you know you're a dedicated, true amateur radio operator.
The lawnmower guy for the cemetery stopped and talked for a while.
I had the post guy talk to my dad there, and he was delivering the mail, and he looked up at my big loop antenna, and he looked at my dad, and he said, "That's unique."
Yeah, but he didn't ask what it was.
Nor did he care. He went right on down the road to the next mailbox.
Oh, guess what? The phone's ringing.
Beggar time and 3 or more.
KB3JC.
Anyone else? Really? It's almost 8 o'clock, people. I mean, come on. Roses are red and violets are blue, and I'm sitting here with static listening for you.
Who are you listening for?
Aha! A decent signal.
Hey, good evening.
That's Doc, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, you're always pretty big here, so if I can't figure you out by your voice, I'll know you by your signal.
That's a little ALADB sure do a nice job.
Yeah, but you have to have something to radiate the energy the bee makes.
Well, all I use is dipoles to cut the frequency. I'm sorry, you can have your loopies and all your verticals and whatever. I want straight dipole, cut the frequency. No tuner, just full boat.
Of course, it always helps to have a blimp at 1,200 feet to hang it on.
Yeah, well, I got a crane and I got a 80-something foot tower.
Oh, is that all? Wouldn't that be nice?
And I got a couple of pine trees that stretch up there a long way. I'm not sure how far, but they're pretty tall.
Yeah, my buddy Gary's got some pine trees that we have his antenna in too, and we're looking to get it out of there. We're going to put him up a loop and get it up out of that tree, because ever since they put it in there, it's been nothing but a problem. It kind of blows around in the wind and chafes the rope and rips stuff up. And I mean, the elevation's awesome, but it's too high up there, and he's already on the edge of a mountain, and the wind whips up through the valley there and just tears him up every time there's a storm, and it's just kind of like, yeah, we got to get it off the tree.
Yeah, I lost my 160 last year. A bunch of the local hams. Well, you probably know Chris. A bunch of other fellas come up and strung him back up for me, and up higher and better than it was before. It's a bazooka, straight bazooka, not a double bazooka. And it works real good. No complaints whatsoever.
No, you're plenty big here, no problem at all. Yeah, old Rainbow Bunker Chris there and the crew, yep. He checks in on the morning there on 60 meters and whatnot, so yeah, I heard him talking all about it.
Yeah, I gotta get a dipole up for 60. I don't have anything. I don't know. Randy keeps trying to talk me into a loop, but and then I have to have a tuner, and it's just no fun.
What's wrong with the tuna?
Well, it's a waste of energy.
A waste of energy. Really?
Well, yeah, you don't think them things tune those antennas for nothing, do you?
Oh, well, yeah, but that makes your antenna resonant. Gets rid of all them swerves.
Yeah, but if your antenna's already resonant, you don't need such thing.
Well, who's going to do that and actually take the time to get their antenna properly matched? I mean, what do you think we are, a bunch of amateurs?
Well, that's what I do. I got one cut for $39.90 and one cut for, well, actually just a little bit above this. But the SWR is like 1.7 to 1 here, so, you know, I guess it's close enough.
They're like the old boys did back in the 20s and the teens, 19-teens and 1920s. You just throw 2 wires up there with some open, homebrew open wire line, and you get a light bulb in the circuit there, and you tune whatever transmitter you made yourself out of chicken baling wire and old vacuum tube World War I surplus stuff, and you lit her up until the light bulb got the brightest, and you sent your CW because you couldn't even afford a microphone because you had to build it.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. In fact, I used to talk to Dryden, which is about 25 miles from here, every day on a light bulb, because he'd hear me tuning up and start hollering.
Yeah. Now you got all these sophisticated touchscreen displays and auto tuners and antennas that come out of a box and erect themselves and tune themselves, and it just took all the fun out of it, I'm telling you.
Now, my first low-band transmitter was a Heathkit DX100, and it weighed 110 pounds.
Oh, is that what the 100 stood for?
Yeah, I believe so, yep.
I guess the transformer was, what, 95% of the weight?
Yeah, a good bit, that's for sure.
Well, that was just carrier or AM back then, right?
Yep, AM, CW, that's all.
Oh, yeah, well, that's why the big transformer. Oh, how advanced the technology has come.
Oh, my God, yeah. My first hard disk for a computer, which was, they didn't call them hard disks then, they called them Winchesters. And then it was next up after the reel-to-reel tapes. Toad Harbor alarm. Anyway, it held 5 megabytes. Not gigabytes, but 5 of them. Hey, what's with all the... Anyway, and now I got a little itty-bitty SD card that's smaller than my pinky fingernail that holds 16 gigabytes, and it's the small one.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's insane where it's going. In another 2 years, you'll have stuff with the size of a pepper flake. It'll probably be well, what's above terabytes? Quadbytes or whatever you call them?
Yeah, I don't even know.
They're talking about quantum computing and all this stuff, and artificial intelligence is going to take over and rule the world, and oh my God, what's it going to do to ham radio?
Well, you just turn on your wristwatch, and you don't even have to turn on, you just say watch. Dial 3990 for me.
They already have that.
I know.
So we got some foul weather that's going to be moving in here in about another, kind of looks like 2 hours or so. And a line of it coming down from the northwest, heading my direction from the west. Looks like it's falling apart, though. It's probably just going to fall apart. By the time it gets here, it'll just be a gentle rain.
Yeah, it rained here most of the day. I wanted to get a bunch of stuff accomplished outside, but I didn't make it. Well, anyway, you heard Ray on?
The only 2 people I heard on was MUR, and he chickened out because he couldn't take it, that he had too weak of a signal, and Gary, my neighbor.
Well, I was a little late getting things turned on. I heard you talking to somebody, but I don't know who it was.
That's Gary, my neighbor.
Hi, Gary, his neighbor.
But Gary, my neighbor's on the phone right now.
Oh, Gary, my neighbor. I get it. Okay.
Probably got a phone call from his mom or work.
Yeah, I wonder which is worse.
Well, either one of them is important. The usual phone call that he'd come right back if he got it and he didn't take it would be the beggars. You know, the fire department, the police chiefs association, insurance, the beggars.
Oh, yeah. Fortunately, out here, most of them are scared to come all the way out, so we don't get so many anymore. But, you know, the driveway is over a quarter mile long, and it's in the woods, and spooky, and there's gunfire and all kinds of stuff going on up here all the time.
You just put a little sign at the beginning of the lane that says, if you want to get shot, keep proceeding forward.
Yeah, I used to have a big sign, don't worry about the dog, beware of owner.
You don't strike me as that ornery.
I'm a pretty nice guy, actually. Can't bite much, ain't got any teeth anymore.
Oh, but you can order them on Amazon.
Yeah, probably so.
We used to have two different dogs. Both of them were pit bulls back when the wife was still here. And she wanted a dog. Oh, my God, I don't want to get it. Anyway, so I had this dog sign on the front of my house. Beware of dog. It's still out there. I haven't taken it off. Dog's gone and she's gone. And both of them I wiped my brow on.
Yeah, I had a sheriff come up here one time, and he was a good friend of mine, actually, but he come up and he seen my beware dog signs, and he says, Kimmy, you want to take them down? And I was like, why? He says, because that sign says you know your dog is mean, and if it bites somebody, your butt's liable.
You live in New York?
Yeah.
There's the problem right there. I'd sell the property and get the heck on up out of there.
Nope. Just where I gonna stay. Yep. I moved all my life. I never spent a single semester in a single school in my whole life growing up. You know. And when I bought this place, when I got out of service in 72, I told the missus, this is it. We're here till we die.
Now, Amiens ain't worth that kind of trouble. I'm thinking like Belize is starting to sound pretty good.
Hello, N1DBL.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, there's Ray with no amp. Hold on, Ray. Let me find an antenna I can hear you on.
Well, I'm telling you, I only run at 45 watts, okay? And here goes to the 100 watts. How's that? Better?
There you go. I went on my East-West beverage. I hear you on that one.
How long is it?
S9 here, Ray.
How long is your beverage?
My beverage is long enough to hear you okay at 40 watts. There you go.
Right, but you didn't say, it sounded like you said 8 feet.
Of course, it made Doc half of what he was. My East-West don't like you, Doc.
Hi, sorry.
I bet you're louder on the North-South. Let me look. Hold on. Go ahead, try it again.
Oh, Mary had a little lamb.
Yeah, you're twice as loud on the North-South.
Where is everybody?
This is it, brother. You got it. This is, nobody else important's here.
Yeah, this is getting ridiculous. I gotta go find some new friends on another bent.
Yeah, good luck with that, Ray. You let me know how that works out for you. I'll send you a Hallmark card.
Hey, give me your old frequency. I'm gonna go talk to those guys.
No, I don't like it, but I don't like it that much.
You mean even Bob's not in here? He still hasn't recovered?
Well, he said his neighbor Gary was in here, but he's on the phone.
Yeah, KT2D. That's who I'm talking about. He hasn't been in again?
Well, you about wore him out, man. He's taking a break from you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's too old for this frequency.
Sometimes, Ray, you're like a piece of old bubble gum that gets stuck in the bottom of somebody's shoe. Wow, I was expecting a little something more than that.
I'm waiting. The amp's going to come on any second.
Oh, you're going to blast me when the amp's on?
Well, yeah, I'm waiting for it to come up.
I wondered why you were so puny tonight.
Yeah, well, a couple more for a minute or so. I don't know. It's exactly 3 minutes. Exactly 3.
You were amazingly 20 over.
Oh, my God, I wouldn't have an amp that took that long to warm up.
Yeah, believe me, I don't like it either. I love the Sigma 3000, but the trouble is in the summertime it makes so much heat.
We got to ventilate it outside, Ray. You have a little, dryer vent. You have dryer vent on the top of it. It's tape on the top where the air comes out, and it blows it outside, and then you have outside air that comes in the bottom on another vent.
I was going to do that with my Lunar Link. That's what I was going to do. I was going to vent cold air, in the wintertime especially, cold air from outside, and vent the hot air into the room, of course, because the room is needs to be heated. But I was too afraid that during a wicked snowstorm with the wind blowing 40 miles an hour, snow would be blown in through the amplifier.
Or you could always go the route, like they made this thing called air conditioning.
Yeah, air conditioning won't keep up with the Sigma. No way. That amp makes as much heat as the air conditioner can cool.
You can use it to dry your clothes.
Yeah, the amp I sold to Randy's buddy there, that's the one I really hated to sell. That was a single 3CX800. It's the exact same thing as a HF2500 Commander, except it's only got one tube in it. That is a great amplifier.
That's what's in my amp, a single 3CX800.
Yeah, that really works good. Doesn't make much heat and just tunes up so good.
You tell me that a 10,000 BTU air conditioner wouldn't get the job done?
No, the air conditioner in this room is 8,000 BTU, and if I put the Sigma amp on in the summertime, it just overwhelms it instantly. In an hour, it's 10 degrees warmer in the room. That's the 3500Z amp with those tubes really glowing with a lot of idle current on them make a tremendous amount of heat. I mean, you can't believe how much. That's why I run the Commander in the summertime, because even the 2-tube Commander makes way less heat. I mean, way less. I'm not talking about a little less. I'm talking about probably makes 40% of the heat of the 3500s.
Well, then you got to upgrade to a 15K BTU unit.
Yeah, well, if this one ever blows and you can get there's a hole in the wall. That's the problem. This one has a hole right in the wall. So unless the new unit can go into the same opening, then I'm screwed.
Oh, you need one of them futuristic Fukushima slit things that's up on the wall that goes right there. They're a thin strip. They're super efficient, and real super cold air comes out of them.
Yeah, well, maybe. Or just get what I need in this room is like a 12,000 BTU.
Well, I got a 10K that's in the bedroom here that handles the bedroom in this room, and I have to at night when I kick the amp on, I have to put it up on medium instead of low.
Yeah, well, what is it, 10? Okay, 10. But see, the trouble is, you have to remember, I'm in the attic. The radio room is the attic, so the whole roof line is on a V, and that's out to the sun. So, plus I got, a big window on the sun side, so there's a lot of heat energy that comes in from the sun in the summertime.
Why would you put your shack in the attic, dude?
Because it's the coolest room you ever saw. This is a two-story house, but it's actually 3 stories. And you come up to the second story, which is a walkway. It's all open. This is an open construction. So when you're walking along the walkway, you're above the main room. And then you come to the end of the hallway, and there's a spiral staircase that goes up into this little radio room.
Well, you need a 15 kBTU unit and mount it up there, and then you can run your amp that doesn't have a 3-minute warm-up.
You should live where I live. I don't even use AC.
Yeah, well, you need AC up here. The problem is if I gave the guy the room dimensions and everything, and he figured it out, he says, yeah, 8,000 BTUs is plenty for that. But he didn't take into consideration, and neither did I, that the amp probably makes as much heat as the air conditioner takes out.
And you need a solid state amp.
Yeah, how's my signal? You're very, very strong tonight, Ray.
You are 30 over 9 right now.
Well, that's good. I'm not running much power. I'm running the loop tonight instead of the rhombic.
Well, the loop is always going to be the best all-around antenna.
Yeah, I think so, but, I don't like 160.
Well, now wait a second. Now, you're supposed to be smart, right? Didn't you tell me you're a PhD?
Yeah, well, that doesn't make you smart.
Well, I guess not. You don't like 160, but you talk here all the time.
No, I concentrate on 40.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I'm not a DXer, so 160 meters is the perfect band for me because I'm not into DX. So I just like that zero. What 160 gives you, and I don't know if the other guys in here were smart enough to figure this out, but it gives you 0 to 500 or 600 miles flawlessly, and that's what I want.
Yeah, that's better than 6 meters.
Yeah, it is. It's better than 6. We could do this on 6, but then everybody'd have to become a great expert on 6, and I don't think Mark has it in him. I'd have to go down and set up his antennas and everything. It would be so much trouble.
Oh, yeah, I'd have to put up a real tower. I'd have to get variants from the airport, the FAA, and all kind of stuff. I'd have to build a real antenna. Oh, God. Then I'd have to buy your $1,000 amp.
Hey, Mark, where are you located?
I'm down here by the Harrisburg International Airport in south central Pennsylvania.
Roger, that's why I can't hear you on my log. You're in the null on my log. I cannot hear you, and it's, I buried it. It's underground, over.
Well, I hear you just fine on mine.
Yeah, well, I can't hear you. I have to listen to you on my 500-foot receiving end.
Well, yeah, I have 2 other beverages I can use, too, and I can flip back and forth depending on where and who and how long or whatever. But, I've been having such good luck with the log antenna. I've been using that pretty much exclusively.
Do you have any nulls on that antenna?
I can't tell because it works so good. I haven't been able to... the nights that it doesn't perform real well, the other antennas don't seem to perform real well either. So it just works.
Is that how long is it on the side?
I think it's something like 18 foot on a side.
Yeah, mine's a 30 feet on each side.
So have you figured out which works better, the bog or the loop?
And, well, when Ray started out, I had to go to the east-west, but then when his amp kicked on, and in another 15 minutes, the band's going to wake up here anyway, and then everybody will be back right up into the red.
So is it the bog or the loop? Which one works better?
The log works so good that I haven't...
This is ridiculous.
The Vallon there, the isolation transformer from DX Engineering, but I don't think I'm going to use it, over.
Yeah, I just made my own out of coax and a little toroid that I had, 5 turns. What were you saying there, Ray?
So in the end result, what works better, the bog or the loop on the ground?
Don't have a bog. I only have a log and 2 beverage antennas.
Okay. Whatever. The straight antennas or the loop? Did you ever get the loop to work?
Yeah. I'm on the loop right now listening to you. It works great. It's just sometimes the beverages work better depending on conditions. That's why it's good to have multiple receive antennas, because as conditions change and the band length changes throughout the evening and, directions and all that jazz, sometimes the log performs great all night. Sometimes the north-south works a little better. Sometimes east-west works a little better. It all depends on conditions. So you can't just say one receive antenna is going to do it all, because it's just like every other antenna. It don't work that way.
No, you need a huge field, 2 or 3 acres. You need the coax run out to the center of it, and you need all these antennas in all different directions. You need probably, 8 different antennas out there, all set up properly, and then you can just switch through them, and you can always find a good antenna. But the problem is you need an acre and a half or 2 acres to lay the thing out.
Yeah, I got 10 acres here.
Yeah, so, what's the problem?
I got 10 acres.
Yeah, if you saw the piece of land I'm on here, it just doesn't lend itself to doing that.
Well, we got a deal, the XYL and I get to have
you're
2
wrong right
acres
out
to
the
do what
box
I
there.
want. I give her the 8 to do what she wants. I'm across the street in the barn.
So you got to move, first of all, Ray. You got to sell all that junk, the house, the cars, all of that. Move all out of that crap and go move to Belize.
Belize? You think that's a good spot?
You could live like a king in Belize with what you could make on all your property and everything. You could be down there having the girls with the fan in the palm trees over your head, drinking Mai Tais every day, over your 3,500 acres of right by the beachfront.
Where's Belize?
It's somewhere down near just beside Mexico in South America or something.
They speak English there.
They do. English is actually the main language.
It was an English colony.
Did you see that 3 people went to Mexico on vacation, and they all ended up dead after drinking at the mini bar?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, that was kind of dumb.
Yeah, well, so that's the problem with going to Belize. How do you go to Belize, take an enormous amount of money there, and hopefully you don't end up dead and somebody's trying to kill you?
What'd they die of?
Because with that kind of money in Belize, Ray, you've got your own personal security force, you got your own water treatment facility.
Can I bring all my guns?
You can bring all your guns, your tanks, your planes, your helicopters.
Is there a lot of Americans down there?
No, and it's a good thing because everybody will leave you alone.
Yeah, well, whatever. I wouldn't mind getting out of the States, but the problem is then you're stuck with, in Mexico. The mini bars, nobody's saying what's went on, but one woman drank a drink from the mini bar and she died almost instantly, and 2 other people the day after drank stuff from the mini bar, and they both died too. So somebody's obviously poisoning the stuff at the mini bars.
Oh, they hate Americans.
Well, that's the problem, Anytime you go anywhere, look at that buffoon that was poisoning pain relievers back 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah, the Tylenol guy.
Right. Well, there's all kinds of sickos in the world. That's why I carry a gun. Anytime I go out of this house, I have a high-powered handgun with me, and I wouldn't hesitate 1 second to use it.
Formal.
Baby 3JZ.
N1 DBL. I actually opened the door for a bank robber at the bank I'm back in now. I went there when I was doing my business back about 15 years ago. I'm going in to put in my deposit, and here comes this guy out the door. And I hold the door open for him, and he walks away, and I go into the bank, and I go, hello, girls, and I'll go, the bank's closed. So what do you mean it's closed? It's 10 o'clock. She goes, no, it's closed. I said, how can it be closed? You're all here, the door's open. We've just been robbed. And the guy that robbed the bank is the guy I held the door for.
Whiskey 3, Hotel November.
Ray, how is it that you're still alive?
Well, the thing is, I was armed. Had they said something, if the second I walked through the door, if they said, hey, that's a bank robber, I would have got him. I would have went after him, but it was too late. By the time they put me off and everything, the guy was in his car and gone.
Well, they don't think. They probably didn't think you were armed.
Right, yes, I could have been in there, you know. That's the thing. I mean, I missed this guy by literally 2 minutes. If I was there 2 minutes earlier, I would have been in the bank when the guy was there. And this guy did not show a gun. Because the girl, when I was there today, the girl said, yeah, I remember that. She goes, she said he had a gun, but he never showed one. So I said, oh, okay. Well, I said, whatever. If that happened when I was there, I'd just pull my gun out and just tell the guy either, lay on the floor, I'm going to kill you right where you stand. I wouldn't even think twice about it. But they had a guy come in with a gun after that, and the guy was really screaming and yelling, telling me he was going to shoot him and everything, That's a lot tougher.
And I'd like to know how it is that you're allowed to carry around a weapon like that in a state where if you even think about having a gun, they'll have you in jail.
Strangely enough, it's really up to the police chief of your town. And a lot of these smaller towns, especially like this one, the last two police chiefs in this town were very gun-oriented. Like the last one and this one gave me no hassle whatsoever. Your permit needs to be re-upped, and you just go out there, do the stuff. I even asked the new guy, doing the thing. I said, "How's this guy going to be?" I said, because the guy before the third guy way back, he said he used to bust my cookies just unmercifully. He goes, no, this guy's fine. He won't. You'll be fine.
You gotta watch who you let in your town.
We got two good police chiefs in a row here now, so that's good. I mean, I've been carrying a gun since I was 27 years old. They know that. I've had so many permits, and you don't have any issues in that length of time. I don't think they have an issue giving you a permit.
Yeah, but if the liberals move in, they'll want to take your gun.
What do you mean if? They're already in.
The liberals are here, but they're going to get so wasted on this next election for president, they're going to finally see the light that being this ultra-liberal thing is not the hot setup. They really, really believe that this is the way to get to the presidency, and they're going to find out Trump's going to waste them on this next thing. I don't think there's going to be much of a contest.
I have a new theory, Ray. Here's my theory. They're going to put Biden in there, and they're going to use Hillary as his, second in charge. That way they can poison Biden. They can say that he died of natural causes, and Hillary's president.
Yeah. Now, that wouldn't surprise me at all, because that's exactly what the Clintons would think up.
Yeah, but it's just a shame that most of these liberals out there think the way they think. And they're only being used to pawn, and they won't even wake up to that fact until the day they start marching everybody off to the gas chambers.
Well, they're uneducated. The whole left wing, the whole super left of the Democratic Party are basically people that have IQs of like 70 or 80. I mean, they're just really, 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 really uneducated, and they lead them around by the nose with the fake media.
What?
Unfortunately, it's absolutely unfortunate that they just treat them like pawns. But they walk around with their noses in the air thinking that they are the most educated people in the world. But they're not.
We had a breaking station.
Wait a second. A certain actress, and too bad, she was from the Hallmark Channel, is finding out the hard way that she isn't the most brilliant person in the world.
I'm here. Here I are.
Yeah, but you weren't the one that was the breaking station. The breaking station, please call now.
You worry way too much about people coming in here that, if they want to get in, they'll get in.
Yeah, there was no breaking station.
I was just trying to be, polite amateur practice.
Well, when you're in charge, then you can be on your net. But until then, sit there and wait your turn.
Wow.
Well, what's his rank now in the Toad Harbor net? Is it 97 or 98?
Well, I guess he told me.
You're even getting him in the top 100.
Well, I don't know exactly how many members we have, so I'm just figuring 97, 98 to be safe.
You're feeling generous tonight.
Hey, you know why? I was sipping on Tomcat Gin tonight.
Attaboy. Hello, Doc.
Hi, Randy. Where's Mikey?
I haven't got a clue.
Never mind Mike. Where's my buddy Bob? Where's Bob? I mean, this is getting ridiculous. I'm going to have to go give him a shot of penicillin.
I told you Bob's taking a vacation from you.
Bob is sick. He caught some horrible bug.
I'll call him up tomorrow and see what his deal is. Hey, Randy, I'm building a special antenna that's only going to receive you. It won't receive anybody else.
Just unplug your coax, same thing.
Oh, it's a secret. It's a special secret. I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to do it. But it'll just receive you and you alone.
Isn't that selective hearing?
Boy, that would be a good thing to do when you want to torture somebody. When you really want to torture somebody, you give them that antenna, and all they can hear is Randy. Boy, that would be kind of mean.
Good idea.
So is it pouring down rain everywhere, or just here?
Just there.
Just there.
It's pouring down here.
We got a little sprinkle here about an hour ago. Just a little bit of a sprinkle. I put the car away and it stopped.
Yeah, we had a deluge earlier today, man. I'll tell you, it was coming down hard.
Yeah, it's been raining here all day.
We had a nice morning, but then it just took off raining in the afternoon. Late in the afternoon, too. It started getting really bad. And now it's raining here pretty darn good, which is okay. I got a lot of hay seed and grass seed out there I want to get going.
Another beautiful sunny day in south central PA.
It did get up to 85.
Almost got him a pull.
How close are you to State College?
What? I am, what do you think, Gary? How many miles?
Around 60.
Yeah, south of that. Southeast of State College by about 60 miles.
Alrighty. I lived between York and Harrisburg from the time I was 12 years old till I was 16.
Which township?
Well, I actually lived in a little tiny burg that if you blink you miss, they call Mount Royal.
Oh, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Lived on Big Rock Road.
Yep, know exactly where that is. That's part of my route.
Oh, how about that? Yeah, I lived there many, many years. Got arrested 4 times for driving without a license when I was 15. Lots of good fun memories.
You got arrested at 15?
Yeah, 4 times.
Only 4 times.
Were you driving a car or a motorcycle or a mini bike?
A car. Several different ones, actually.
Were they stolen?
Oh, no,
Just want to make sure. I don't think we have any real convicts on the frequency yet to fill in the blank for that.
Oh, I've been behind clanging doors a couple times, but not for that. Yeah, I don't know. 2 of the cars was my mom's and 2 of them was my own.
We got to keep the spectrum broad on this frequency because we have professionals and concrete professionals and UFO professionals and lawyers and doctors and landscape people. I mean, we need some professional criminals as well to round it out.
Yeah, that reminds me. NC3Z, N1DVL. Where are you? You were supposed to come back a couple nights ago, or last night.
KB3JZ.
N3 or more.
N1DVL. I'm sure he keeps his other receiver here.
W3 Hotel November.
Wow, look at that big signal.
What big signal?
You're big.
Yeah, I'm on the loop tonight. I'm not using the rhombic.
You mean he's bigger than me?
Yeah, he's bigger than you, Ray. Well, just about everybody is.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I'm only running low power, about 400 watts.
Well, no, Ray beat you there that time.
Okay, but how strong am I?
Hey, all fair in love and war. 1,500 watts. That's the way it is.
Yeah, I'm running 300. You're running 5 times the power.
Well, hey, what can I tell you?
Right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I got to get this amplifier fixed. Otherwise, I'm going to put my 2 kW amp on.
Well, you should have it on. That's the amp you should be using.
It's got 4 4CX250s in it.
Wow, talk about an old amplifier.
It is. It's homebrew, and it's the first amplifier I ever had. I never used to run an amp. I just ran barefooted. I got on 160. You couldn't hear anybody in the summer, so somebody gave me this amplifier. It's 2 kW.
It's got to be 2 kW input.
Yeah, it is. 2 kW input, so it probably puts out 4CX250 says you really shouldn't put out more than about 1,000 watts.
4 of them. There are 4 of them.
Yeah, I know, but they're only 250 watts, so that's 1,000 watts of dissipation, same as a pair of 3500s. I mean, granted, I'm sure it'll do more power than that, but those 4CX250s aren't real linear tubes. You know, you can directly plug in a 4CX350 if you can find them, and they're quite a bit better linearity, and they put out more power.
Roger, Dodger. Yeah, it's 1 amp at 3,000 volts. That's the input, 1 amp at 3,000 volts.
I think you better look at your meter again. I don't think a 250 can take that kind of voltage.
Oh, yeah, they can. I had one on 2 meters.
Yeah, how much voltage can they take, Doc?
I think they can take up to 4K.
No way. Hang on. I'll find my tube book.
WG2E. Good evening.
WG2E, good evening, Carl. W3HHN.
WA2E, yes.
Hi, Tim, Doc, everybody. Everybody sounding real good tonight.
Hey, Randy.
Yo.
Did you hear that I got Mikey's foot switch all done?
I heard that. I did, yes. He'll be happy to hear it.
I couldn't find any of your little rubber feet. It should have 4 little rubber feet, but I couldn't find some.
Yeah, I'm sure he can come up with them. I mean, you go to Home Depot and just pick up a package of them, you know.
They come out pretty decent, actually. Hope you don't mind white.
You got to send me a picture of it.
Well, I can do that.
Oh, the band's starting to come in now.
So Tootie is not getting on tonight. He's hurting. He's a hurting unit.
What happened to him?
He's just been sick. He's been sick for a few days.
Okay.
He's got 10 days to get better.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I'm sure he'll shake it by then. I think it's all the stress that Ray put on him about fixing his antenna. Probably just, he lack of sleep. He gets nervous. He gets, a little bit down a little bit, and you get a bug, and next thing you know, you're close to dying.
Yeah, you ordered him to install it in the rain.
And not on a warm day either, on a cold, rainy day.
Yeah, we can't take that now that we're older.
Well, you guys.
Oh, don't start that here already.
So I got my bearings today. I brought the bearings home, and I got my plates for my attachment plates to attach to the pipe to the upright structures. So we're getting close. I'm going to be pouring some concrete hopefully this weekend.
Oh, you got the helicopter on the way?
I I won't need the helicopter for this little pour. This is just this is not a temporary, but this is just a small pour.
Okay, well, geez, when I did my pour, I mixed it up in a wheelbarrow with a hoe.
That's kind of what I'm expecting to do here. I was going to buy a little mixer, but I thought, well, I got a hoe and I got a wheelbarrow, and I've been doing it for a lot of years this way, so it won't hurt me to do it for another little 4,000 pounds of it, you know.
Yeah, my dad showed me how to do that. He put the bag in there to make a little trough in the middle of it and put the water in there and slowly work it back and forth, you know. So, yeah, I've done that a long time.
I always put it in the back and then put the water in the front, and you work the concrete toward the water. And that way there you get to hydrate it. You get to see the thing about ready mix is, and what any concrete is, you can't hydrate the cement well enough. So you just got to take it a little at a time, you know.
Hey, do you use this Quikrete, no water needed?
Garbage. How do you spell garbage? Quikrete.
Yeah. Why is it garbage?
Why is it garbage? Think about it, Tim. What do you need in concrete to hydrate? I mean, I'm not going to explain it to you. Trust me when I tell you. Put it in the ground, and it'll hold a post maybe.
Yeah, that's all I do. I put it around my 4x4s, and I do pour a little water around it, but I don't mix it.
Yeah, right. You hydrate some of the cement. And what's the worst thing you can do? Okay, let's just see. Now, Carl's going to get this answer because he's smarter than all you guys. What's the worst way to hold up a wooden post?
Concrete.
Why?
Because it rots the concrete.
It rots the concrete?
It rots the post.
How does it?
I don't know how it does. I just know it does.
Yeah, because the post gets wet, it swells up, and then it's swelled up while the concrete's curing. And then when the concrete dries out, the post shrinks back down, and next thing you know, you got a loose post. And then what happens? It rains, and the next thing you know, you got a concrete holder, a vase, so to speak, for a wooden post.
No,
2,000 volts on the plate of a 4CX 250.
It's been there for years, and I don't have that problem.
It's a miracle.
But yeah, I got a lot of miracles here. You know, I never believe anybody.
You got to use that expanding cement, Randy.
You're a contrarian, Tim.
You use hydraulic cement.
Oh, you know, I've been told too many lies in my life. Why should I trust anybody?
So anyway, was that ICOM that guy bought on the other band, was that radio finally, it's okay? He just didn't know how to use it?
Yeah, it's fine. It's working good. The guy loves it.
Yeah, well, it'll work good for, a few months, and then he'll have the problem.
Hopefully he's got hopefully they've got the display fixed, you know. I'd like to see the guy have a good radio.
I don't believe they have the display fixed because they, when all our guys sent back their radios, they were told that isn't the fix. It's a new display, but it's not the new one that's supposed to get rid of the problem.
Yeah, this is a brand new radio, so it may be perhaps, hopefully, got a new. I mean, I don't know, whatever. It's no sweat off my nose either way. I hope the guy has a great radio. I hope it works for him forever.
Another year from now. So this time next year, you'll probably be able to buy one that's not going to fall apart.
KB3JZ.
N1 DVL.
WG2E.
W3HHM.
KB2ZVP.
Hey, I'm going down to Devon's on Wednesday, Randy.
Next Wednesday?
He's going to show me how to wind a ballon. I got a T200 core and some wire and a box, and he's going to show me how to do it.
What's he going to make you, a 49-to-1?
4-to-1.
Oh, 4-to-1. I thought you had a 4-to-1.
I got several, but I'm putting up the third receive antenna just to receive Randy, just because he's kind of weaky squeaky over here.
Maybe you could build a Randy filter.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I meant that in a nice way, of course.
It'd be a it'd be a very interesting antenna to try. Would be a half-wave vertical dipole. You just, the tower, half-wave, isolated at the base, isolated in the middle. You go up there with the coax, you feed it in the middle. It doesn't need a radial ground system, and it's a half-wave fed right in the center. That would be kind of neat.
Why don't you feed it at the base?
Well, if you feed it at the base, it's going to be real high impedance, and then you're going to require that 49-to-1 balun. If you feed it in the center, it's going to be like 70 ohms.
Yeah, but how are you going to be perpendicular to the center? Feed her at the base with a good balance.
Well, what do you mean? You run the coax up the center of the tower.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. Let me think about it.
That's all made out of your. That's all printed out of your printer machine, Doc.
Yep, sure is. Except for the hardware.
That's pretty cool, man. He printed a foot switch.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Works good too.
I heard you could print guns with those things.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, but what do you use for a barrel?
That's a secret. I tell you, it's illegal. So, but you print the barrel out of the ABS or PET-G, and then you put an insert in it.
Oh, okay.
But you can't. I've heard you can't fire it too many times, Doc.
Well, I've got plans for an M16 full auto.
That sounds interesting.
Bring it to the summit. We'd like to see that.
No, I'm not going to print that 16, man. They come haul my butt away. Besides, I need a bigger printer.
That's pretty cool how you can just sit there and punch this thing into your machine there. And now it printed it out in two pieces, right? Obviously, you got the top and the bottom, and you got the. Did it have the holes in it? Do you have to drill the holes afterward?
No, I print them all out, holes and all. I did have to drill a couple holes in that one because the micro switch I had was too small, wouldn't fit. So, but no, all the holes are there. In fact, there's 4 holes for the feet too. But I just don't got some. And I've made a couple of really nice looking revolvers. I tell you, the coolest thing I ever printed was NASA made plans and sent up the plans or the CAD forms up to the space station to make a ratchet. And I printed 3/8" ratchet in one solid piece. And you have to snap it loose to get it to ratchet after it gets done. But it's a trick, man, I'm telling you. It's only good for like 3-inch balance with normal PLA, and it only ratchets one direction. But you make 2, one for each direction. And it's slicker and snot.
I mean, how strong is this foot switch? Mike is, he's kind of insane. And then when Ray gets him all worked up, I can imagine he'll be stomping his foot down,
Hey, Randy, you going to put out a log?
No.
Okay, because I buried mine underground. It's a lot quieter.
If I do anything, it's going to be a bog, I think. Listening to Carl, and I trust that Carl is very savvy, and I think that his bog works a lot better than the log does.
It's still working good today.
Hey, Randy, it takes some pretty good hits.
Sounding good, yeah.
Okay, very good.
How's my signal tonight, Randy?
Let me take a peek at you. I got to turn my attenuator off. Come on back.
Okay, I'm using the loop I went over and put the jumper across the beverage there. I am going to get some light bulbs, though, and put out at the end, and for a terminating resistor for 40 meters. So how's my signal tonight, Randy, go?
You're up and down a little bit, but you were down to like 15 over, and then you were up to 30 over. So I would say on average you're 20, 25 in that range. Pretty good signal.
Yeah, I got you 30 over, Tim.
Yeah, Roger. Is that you, Steve?
Yeah.
You going to the picnic?
Thinking about it.
Roger, Dodger.
And speaking of light bulbs, Randy, I need a couple of blue LEDs to put in this amp. I just can't stand reading no lights in those meters. Drives him nuts.
You want some blue ones?
Yeah.
Okay, I got some here. Do you have resistors? What voltage are you going to give it? The 12 volts?
Yeah, probably whatever I can dig out of the amp. I mean, I suppose I could, use it Walmart or something. Yeah, I've got tons and tons of resistors, and I got tons of diodes, but they're yellow and red, and I haven't got no blue ones.
Yeah, I got some here. I'll send them over to you. I got a whole bag of 3 millimeter blue ones. So I will send you some. How many you need? 4?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, no sweat. Yeah, you can just grab the voltage, whatever's in the amp. I think it's either 24 volt or 4. I'm sorry, 24 or 12.
Yeah, Randy, send me 4 too. I want to put them in the S meter on my Kenwood here.
No.
Who needs Amazon when we got Randy?
I'm not sending Ray any blue LEDs.
Wouldn't they look pretty on this S meter on the Kenwood? They turn it blue.
Oh, that'd be great, Ray. That'd be really, really, really great.
I could drill 4 holes in the screen and just mount them right in there.
You're scary, Ray. You know what? And yeah, this has got a 12 volt tap on the back for relay probably, so I can just tap right off that.
Well, you got voltage right there at the lights, right in the front. The ones that are bad. I mean, that had lights in it at some point, so they're just shot.
Yeah, I expected, something, but I didn't want to tap on it to see if I could get on the light either.
That's what I did here. I just cut the wires, soldered in. What I did is I took a half by half piece of wood, a square piece of wood, like 3 inches long. This is bottom lit. These meters are bottom lit, and they have these really. I got the lights that are original lights for it, but you got to take the whole thing apart to get to them. And there's about 1.5 inches space above the light behind the front cover. And I took that half by half piece of wood, it's like 3 inches long, and I put one in the center straight down, 2 at 45 degrees going outward, and I tied all the wires together, a little super glue, touched it to the face of the amp on the back side, of course, shining down to the clear side of the clear part of the meter, hooked it up, and I added two more resistors. And to knock the brightness down some, and tied into the 24 volts that the unit has already, and voila, we got lights above the meters. That looks okay. Yeah, cool. I didn't use blue ones. I was going to use blue ones, but this old amp, it wasn't, this didn't intend to have blue lights in it, so I couldn't do it.
Oh, I'm a blue nut. I just love it.
I have blue LEDs, and if you looked at my computer on QRZ, that the shelf lighting beneath the shelves are lit with strips of blue lights, and I like it. I like the blue lights.
Yeah, and my main computer, the fans got blue lights on them, even.
Man, I love this amplifier. I'll tell you, this is such a nice piece. Every time I turn it on, push those big buttons, it's like clunk. It's just pretty cool.
Can you hear me with 100 watts?
Well, I'm loving mine too, Randy.
Everybody ignore Mark. He's breaking the rules. I'm happy you are, Doc. That's a good amp.
Mark who?
Marcus. Marcus is in there with 100 watts, and he's testing out everybody's receivers. Of course, Ray, you don't have to worry about ignoring them.
Mark is plenty strong here.
I'm out watering the garden, so I can't run the amp on the Kenwood.
That's okay, Mark. Everybody with a good radio can hear you.
Everybody with a good receive antenna can hear you.
It always helps to have an antenna that's not made out of steel, too.
And everybody with a piece of crap Yaesu and a crappy dipole can hear you too. W2KRY.
Hello, Randall.
What's up, everyone?
Hi, Randy. Any news about your newest acquisition?
Oh, there's reams and reams every day. It keeps getting deeper. I've got an email from Rob I'm looking at right now that's straight from the Empire.
Oh, boy.
Wow, he's got the strongest signal on the band.
And by the Empire, I mean the Empire of Japan.
Right, yeah, I figured that. So what are they saying?
Well, let me...
That sounds like you got to send it back for that, to get that fixed.
That's some serious stuff, brother.
I thought that was German.
I thought it was Chinese.
Well, that's going to have to go everywhere to get it fixed.
If it was ICOM, it would be Chinese.
I think that's what happened to the ICOMs, contrary to what everybody else is probably going to tell you. I'll bet you they bought a lot of those parts from China, and they're just crap.
Oh, that's exactly what happened.
I wouldn't doubt it. I've been watching a lot of videos. There's this EEV blog on YouTube, and he takes all this stuff apart, and he's always complaining about the Chinese components that the manufacturers are putting in there.
Hey, Randy.
Yo.
You heard Bill in here lately?
Bill?
Yeah, isn't Bill from Vermont?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's in here once in a while, but he's on Facebook more than he's on the radio.
Oh, I don't do Facebook. I just wondered if he was coming down to the summit.
Well, he was, yeah. He's got, I mean, he's nonstop on Facebook. He's out at every restaurant in Vermont, every bar and every restaurant.
Well, now there is the perfect example of what I was saying the other day. He needs a psychiatrist.
Yeah, I don't do Facebook, but I just wondered if somebody was supposed to check on some Tomcat for me, but they're not coming through, so I just needed to find the source.
I bought a bottle today. You can buy it now here in the Springfield area. It's under a different name. That's why they can't order it, but you can get it in New York.
No.
Yeah, our distributors don't have it anymore.
Caledonia, that's the name of the company. Caledonia Spirits.
Yeah, it's not within 100 miles of Syracuse.
I got a question for you, Randy.
Go ahead, Tim.
Do you need some really heavy-duty insulators for your antenna?
No, I don't use insulators.
For your vertical?
Oh, you mean from the ground up?
Roger, Dodger.
Roan ones, you got some?
No, these are for guy wires.
Oh, no, I don't. I won't use those.
These are like 2 or 3 inches in diameter. They're really heavy-duty.
No, I'm good. I'm good there. Thanks, though. I appreciate it.
Okay, somebody needs them. They're theirs. Yeah, I talked to Devin today. I'm going down there on Wednesday, and we're going to build up a bow, and I got everything ready to go.
Yeah, very good. Well, he'll set you straight, I'm sure.
Well, I saw it on YouTube, and you know I can't. Although I do have it in the handbook, but you can't get it off of YouTube. It's not that clear.
So when's everybody getting on 6 meters?
I'm on there all the time. It was open the other night, by the way.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah. Carl?
Hey, I got a book here, Building and Using Balance and Ununs. It's by Jerry Sevick, W2FMI. If you're interested and want to take a look at it, I could bring it to the picnic.
Yeah, I would. I could. It's probably old. I probably could try some of the book people. They might have it, but I doubt it.
The copyright's 1994.
Roger. He also did the short vertical, you know that?
Oh, I don't know, but anyway, I've had this here for a long time, and you mentioned that, so I just, I'll put it in a pile of things to bring along.
No, he's the expert on the short vertical, like the 10-foot top-loaded vertical and all that stuff for 40 meters.
Okay, I haven't read that.
It's very interesting. One of the biggest, best antennas I saw for 160 was the 30-foot vertical.
Sounds like something that Tootie has.
No, this had a big top hat on it. It had two 100-foot wires and 5,000 feet of ground radios under it.
A lot of work.
Yeah, it was 5 ohms. He had to make a 5 ohm matching transformer. There was no high angle on it. I was like 30 or 40 miles away. Hard to hear him. Short vertical on 160. It just goes right along the ground.
How did you listen 1,000 miles away in the ocean?
With the General Poplawski freighter. I took a freighter trip, and they let me run my rig on the freighter over.
Oh, okay.
He just hit 60 over. Yeah, I think this loop is definitely better than the rhombic.
Everybody's good tonight.
Yeah, that's also true. I should do it maybe for 2 or 3 weeks and then switch to the rhombic and do it for 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, Randy was going to give me a relay that I could switch it in and out.
Better than Amazon.
Or make them. I thought you were an expert on welding.
Well, I like to watch what other people do too. You know, this is a pretty good. This guy's building a weed whacker, and it's pretty interesting. There's an awful lot of very talented people in the world. I'll tell you, an awful lot.
Thank you.
makes up their own story about that man, Tesla. You have to be very carefully what you hear, especially if the person has a title of physicist. You look at a lot of the produced videos that have been on the air. PBS strike comes to my memory, and a certain percentage of what's espoused there is wrong, flat out wrong. No, not too many people know what he was doing there, and no one really knows, because everything's sketchy. You know, it was over 100 years ago, and a lot that was said by other people, so you have to go right to the source and try to figure out what was said by the man himself and look at the work he did and unravel it that way.
You know, he did other things besides electrical. Did you know that, Bruce?
Yeah, I've read all his patents. I've seen the breadth of his creative mind, from bladeless turbines to flying machines. Very, very creative fellow.
Yeah, a friend of mine was into Tesla, and in particular, Tesla had invented some kind of specialized pump for getting oil out of the ground.
Well, he... depending on the... way up. Incredible. Off his patents and claimed the title to radio, when actually it was Tesla's patents that he was using all along. And the diagram of the equipment that Marconi submitted as the equipment he used wasn't what he was using, and what he submitted, if you looked at it today, you'd say that couldn't transmit or receive. But so, you know, he got burned, so he had to keep quiet and be careful about things too. So it's an interesting life of a person.
Yeah, I read one book on him, and I agree, he was quite an interesting chap.
I went by my mother's house today, and they put a for sale sign on it today, because I went by yesterday or Saturday and there was no for sale sign. Now there is one.
How's it looking?
Looks good. Looks good. They changed all the siding. They put all new siding on it. They ripped up the front flagstone walk, which was kind of nice, but they ripped that up and they put a new walk in. They reseeded part of the lawn and put a new garage door on it. And I haven't been in since they finished it, but it looked like it was going to be pretty nice.
They didn't waste any time, did they?
No, because you know why? This is a fabulous, fabulous market for selling houses. So I'm one of the guys I called on the phone finally returned my call today, and I found one other one. So now I got three guys, because the one's going to do the guy that was going to do my sliding glass door. You know, I had him do three. He gave me a price on this other one, and he was way, way higher. So I said, well, I'm gonna think about it for a while, and I'm gonna let the other two guys quote it.
Yeah, but the guy that already did a great job on your other doors. He can't come back and do it?
Yeah, no, he's the guy I called. Yeah, he can do it. He charged me $1,500 to put a door in. Now he wants $23.
Well, is it the same amount of work, or is it more work?
I don't think it's any really more work. I don't think so. I think it's the same amount of work. So I got 2 more guys coming. I'm going to let the other guys quote it. And if they're up at the same price, I'll just call them.
Like a king now. A poor king, but I get treated like a king anyway. What am I looking at here, Randy?
It's a description of the feature.
Of the issue?
Height.
Yeah, it pokes up there pretty good, don't it?
It's quite impressive.
Maybe you could make that work to your advantage.
Not with solid state amp, you can't. That's going to even overwhelm a tube amp. That's very excessive.
What are you talking about?
Aren't we talking about the overshoot problem on the Yaesu?
No, it's another picture.
Oh, okay.
Overshoot's cured.
Oh, they can cure it? Can they cure it from the program or cure it from hard parts?
Parts.
Okay. Well, that overshoot's always a problem with linear amplifiers that are solid state, because unless the amp's got a really good circuit in it, they can blow up the transistors.
You got a good point. Maybe they were trying to blow up Italian amps, so everybody would have to buy a Yaesu Quadra.
Well, that's exactly the problem. All those Italian amps were blowing left and right, and allegedly they were because of the overshoot. But the problem is, if the amp's not designed right, it's going to blow up. If it was designed right, the overshoot shouldn't bother it.
Okay, we're back on the regular radio now.
And you're 20 over 9. Not bad for a beginner.
Thank you very much.
You know how much work it would be to get Mark on 6 meters, Ray?
Impossible. Absolutely impossible, Randy. You'd have to take a couple days off. I'd have to take a couple days off. We'd have to go down there and do everything.
What are you talking about? I'm on 6 meters.
Yeah. Can you get out of the state?
He just proved our point.
Yes, I can get out of this state, and I don't even have an amp to do it.
If the conditions are just right, Ray.
He can reach maybe into New York, maybe New Jersey.
Maybe, Mexico or California or Florida.
Going downhill with the wind behind you.
Goes
Here
to
we
show
go
you
again,
can work
Randy.
DX no matter how poor your antenna is.
DX comes in 40 over 9, and he can work Texas.
I don't have to sit here and take this kind of abuse. I could go somewhere else I'm not wanted.
Did he leave?
I don't know, but every day I used to work a guy down in Philadelphia on his way home from work when he was mobile.
Oh boy, now Maureen's telling me I'm not being nice to Mark.
Yeah, thanks, Maureen.
She likes all pets, all what do you call them? The unwanted.
I'm just warm and fuzzy and cuddly, and he just treats me like a lint ball.
Scratch him under the chin, Randy.
Oh, I just hit my switch. I got to go out to the kitchen and get something to drink. KB2ZVP.
Oh, now it's going to get much worse, Mark.
Well, the garden's still growing.
You know what my middle name is?
Come on.
It's Theodore, short for, or long for Teddy, because I'm a big old teddy bear.
Yeah, I'm starting to see why Ray treats Randy the way he does.
Watch out if he has 3 drinks.
Oh, yeah, there's been nights where I've just basically had to walk away.
Now, there's a guy way out there. You're going to have him come in, Mark?
If I could hear him.
You could hear him. I couldn't hear him. I could tell somebody was talking, but I couldn't hear him. Go ahead. See what he was saying. See who he is.
Come on, driver. John, is that you? Oh, good evening, John. What's going on? You're a little weak. The band's not straightened out yet, but WD8DHQ and 3RMR.
He's very strong here.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough. Lots of lightning, and the band is, kind of weird. So Randy hears you pretty good. Go ahead and get Randy.
Yeah, how you doing? Is it John? This is Randy. Kilo Bravo 2, Zulu Victor Papa. I think I doubled. I'm sorry. You're in Ohio. I'm in New York. This is Kilo Bravo 2, Zulu Victor Papa, and my name is Randy. Sorry about doubling. Is it WA8 or WD8? Okay, I had that wrong. Okay. Well, you're 100 watts and your inverted L is doing a great job. You're 10 over S9, and every once in a while, a lightning crash will pick at you a little bit, but you're doing fine to me.
Yeah, we got mushrooms growing here too, John. It's been pretty wet.
Maureen?
Too long.
He's old. Give him patience.
I can't hear him.
Just stand by. With a lot of guys in here, so we're going to toss it back around into the group. Thanks for calling in. Don't go away, but yeah, it's a little rough, and you're not getting into everybody on the East Coast on the other side there, John. So thanks for checking in, and we'll look for you again. I don't know if you're going to be on the late night radio on the other one, but if so, we'll catch you down there then a little later on. All right, John, thanks a lot. Take care.
Yeah, good night, John. You were almost 20 over S9 on that last transmission. The bands must be getting a bit better between you and I. We'll see you again, KB2ZVP. Okay.
All right, back to you, Ray.
What was he running for power and the antenna?
Inverted L, 100 watts.
Not many radios.
Well, you go talking. An inverted L? Is that what you said?
Yeah, an inverted L, and he's got raised radio of them and 100 watts.
Right, okay.
He was good. There's a Sierra Charlie who just checked in. Who's that?
Charlie, November, Sierra. Bob in Victor, New York.
Yeah, hi, Bob. You're breaking up a little bit, Bob. Your audio's crackling.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll call a simple sideband radio made by some companies locally here.
I don't know who's hearing you. I don't want to keep going on if nobody else is hearing you. Are you hearing Bob and Victor?
I hear a voice, but that's it.
Same here, nothing.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
How much power are you running, Bob?
125 right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's really tough on this band than this time. I can hear them, but just barely. Okay, thank you. And one DVL.
Yeah, okay, Bob. Anyway, this is a band you need a lot of power for, especially when the storms get, the band gets better like it is right now. We're going to start hearing storms from further and further away,
Yeah, I know that. I just put up a temporary inverted L. That seems to be popular these days. But
yeah, you're better off in the winter trying that, because if we all went down to 100 watts, you'd probably have a hard time hearing us as well. Back to you, Ray.
Okay, yeah, so, that's the old 100 watts, just ain't going to cut it. Not from that far. Unless the guy's on a professional broadcast tower like that time that guy came in. I'm sure, I got to tell you, I'm sure interested. And I really wish you would get on that vertical project you were going to do. Because that's going to tell me a lot. I could almost see putting one of those up here and just forgetting, all the rest of the antenna. Just stick one of those up in my ear, the full-size vertical tower, with no guide wires on it, with a huge ground system. I really think that'd probably still work pretty good.
Sell me your crank up.
I hear you in DX.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to do it with a crank up. Okay, crank up tower is just not the tower to do it with. It's could it be done? Yeah, probably done. But my crank up's in the wrong spot.
No, sell me your crank up, and then you can put up your new one.
Oh, yeah. I suppose I could do that, but somebody has got to prove to me first that the vertical. I still think a vertical done right is going to work better than anything else, because I saw it that one time with that commercial guy out there running a commercial broadcast tower, and I was amazed at his signal.
So, what did Marconi say, or who was Bruce just talking about?
Who was talking about what?
Oh, Tesla. Do you think Tesla said, now you got to think about the great minds of the world, okay? Let's put it this way. Okay, here we are. This is a perfect scenario. What did Tesla say? Did he say, well, somebody has to show me how it works or show me it can work? Or did he just go out and do it himself and prove that it could work? And then what did Marconi do? He came and ripped it off. So, Ray, do you want to be known as Tesla or Marconi?
No, I'm telling you right now, I don't think I'm in a good spot for a vertical tower because the way the hill goes up behind my house. So what I would do eventually is the reason I want to know if somebody puts up a really good vertical, if it really works good, because then when I move somewhere, I'm going to get a big giant lot with a big huge field in it, and I'm going to put up a real commercial grade vertical tower, probably better than what they do.
Well, all I can say is my new pulleys will be in tomorrow, I think, and this weekend I'm hoping to start my project.
Okay, let's hope so.
I'll get my loop up in the air, and I'll be satisfied with that, and then I can start thinking about the killer vertical.
Right. Well, that's going to be the whole thing right there. Run the vertical against the loop, and if the vertical can perform as good as the loop or very close to as good as the loop at close range and, much better out at longer range, then that's the antenna to put up, a really vertical.
WA3FBN.
Hello, good Mike.
Hello,
Mike.
Randy. Hello, Ray. Hello, Carl. I don't know who else is in there. Do we have any, do we know what kind of juice that I'm bringing yet?
So this is we have to have a vote, okay? Okay, so if you haven't had any of Joanne Sangria, you don't get a vote. This is a vote of what type of sangria Joanne's going to be making for us all to partake in. Is it white or is it red? And my vote is clearly red. Maureen says red. Ray?
White.
Who else? Bruce?
Red.
We got 3 reds and 1 white. Who else? Who else is there? Where's all the rest of the people? Where's Dave been? What the hell? Where's Dave been?
Yeah, I just noticed that. He hasn't been around much. Tom hasn't been around much.
KHT3, KXP.
Yeah, Tom's been in here every night. Randy, you came. Did you have any of that sangria?
I did. I thought it was really, really tasty.
Which one do you want?
Well, I never had any white, but I really like the red.
It's 5-1, Ray.
Yeah, I know. Hey, by the way, I've gotten wine that doesn't have added sulfides in it. You know, it's got natural sulfides, but not added. And I've drank it a couple times, and it doesn't screw me up. So, if you buy the organic wine that doesn't have added sulfides, it's okay.
What?
Long, complicated story.
Yeah, well, fermented grape juice doesn't have sulfites in it, but okay.
Yeah, go to the state store and try to get some wine without it.
You can't. No, wine has it's possible. It is possible to make a wine with no sulfides, but it's very hard to do. You can buy a wine with no added sulfides, and that works fine because there's sulfides in grapes. That's the thing. Don't ask me how. That's one of the questions I had for Devin. Just if you take regular grapes and make grape juice or anything out of it, it's got some sulfides in it. I don't know where it comes from. I'm assuming it comes from the soil. But the added sulfides is way, way, way higher.
Sulfate.
What?
Sulfate, not sulfide. It's a completely different molecule.
Well, doesn't it say sulfides on the wine label?
Sulfate.
I could have swear it said sulfides. Do I have to go get a bottle?
Please.
Well, just look one up. Look one up online, and see what it says.
I just want to make sure you're being correct when you're telling people stuff.
Well, I'm pretty sure it said sulfides.
I don't want you giving bad information out.
Sulfate.
I'm going to have to go get a bottle now.
Every bottle in my basement says sulfites, okay? So just relax.
Exactly.
Fights, ides, or eights? What is it?
They're sulfides.
No,
Sulfides.
sulfites.
That's what they add to wine.
Ice.
And if they add it, they probably add 100 times with the level that's in there, naturally.
Yeah, sulfites. Yes, I was corrected correctly.
Its only purpose is to stop fermentation.
Wine, that's the problem. You can't get a quality wine without sulfides in it. But the thing is, you can drink it without it driving you driving you crazy.
Well, you can, Ray, but it's got to be close because its only purpose is to stop fermentation. So if you try to age it or leave it in your shelf a little bit longer, you got grenades going off.
I believe that very much because the bottle I was drinking today is a white with no sulfites added, and it actually tasted to me like it's got a little bit of effervescence in it.
That's what happens, and that's what happens with Gary's wine in the bunker, because he doesn't add anything to it. And when he opened up the bunker, he had corks everywhere.
Yeah, well, there's the problem right there.
Actually,
there's got to be a way around it, but
that's why it's
probably
got the thicker
temperature
bottle
and probably
and
you have to let it
down cork.
When you bottle it, you probably have to let it sit longer or do something, you know.
Well, let Randy say what he just said. That makes perfect sense.
Oh, I'm just saying that's the whole idea behind champagne is you let it you put it in a thicker bottle and strap down the cork and you turn it every once in a while to keep that yeast working and it carbonates itself.
Yeah, well, I thought the wine I was drinking today had a tiny bit of carbonation in it.
You're probably right.
But it doesn't screw up my heartbeat. That's one thing it doesn't do. Let's face it, I'm very sensitive.
Oh, I'm going to bed, guys. Have a great night. If you see Mikey, tell him he can come get this switch anytime he wants. Give me a phone call or just stop in. I don't care. No charge, so, you ain't got to worry about that. 73 all, WA2ES.
Good night, Doc.
All right, Doc, 73. I'll let Mike know.
Hey, Doc, have a good one.
Night, guys.
And before we get too much further, And before we get too much further, on June 6th, let's remember all the guys 75 years ago jumping and floating and running into uncertainty.
Yeah, and dying by the thousands.
Amen.
That's when they still made brass balls.
I got
Yeah,
a
that's
picture
for
of Uncle
damn
Jim
sure.
right here on,
No
his
doubt about
Indian
that.
motorcycle. He was one off the duck boats.
You squashed Ray like a bug.
You know, the thing to think about, I think I told, I'm positive I told the story, but I'll say it again, too, for Uncle Jim's benefit, right, who's probably listening right now thinking I'm such a great guy for talking about him. So when he passed away, his son was living there in the house, living with him and his wife and helping take care of things. So I said, how are things in the house after Jim passed away? Is it much more quiet? And I forget how he put it, but it was odd to me that he was putting it like this old guy was a noisy guy, And I said, how are things in the house? That's what it was. It was, well, it's way more quiet than it was when he was with us, I said, really? I said, I can't imagine Jim making all that much noise. The guy's, he went out to the barn and worked out in the barn, and he came back in the house and watched a little TV, watched Jeopardy or something. And he says, oh no, he goes, the nights are quiet. He said, you have to realize something. Every single night he wakes up and screams. He's screaming. He's walking through the house yelling and screaming and looking for this bad guy or looking for his buddy and all this, I said, seriously? He goes, yeah, every single day since he got out of the service, he did that. And he had to sleep in his own room. And this guy was tormented till he was, how old was he when he passed? 91. He was tormented till he was 91 years old. With what happened at jumping off that duck boat down there. Yeah, he was 17 when he went into service. He snuck in early, How many of these liberal weenies that need a bobby pin, a safety pin, or a safe place to go suck their thumbs would handle that?
Agreed. One of my favorite movies my dad took me to see when we were in New York City, I think I was in the 4th grade, was The Longest Day. That's on tomorrow on Turner Classic Movies.
That's good, and the other is one with, oh God, what's that classic World War II movie where the guy comes back and he has both arms cut off?
Coming Home?
No, with Hoagie Carmichael and, oh my God, who's the actors in it? I can't think of the guy. The guy actually won an Academy Award. He actually lost his both arms during the war, and he wore the hooks, and he was in the movie. Come on, it's like the most famous World War II movie ever made. I just can't quite come up with the name.
The Best Years of Our Lives.
Thank you. Yes, The Best Years of Our Lives. What a great movie. That is really a great movie. Dana Andrews plays the lead in that, and he was very good. All the actors in that were really great.
How noisy are things down there tonight, Mike?
About 15 over.
God, it's not bad here tonight. That's S7. I'm peeking about an S7.
Yeah, it's 10 over here. It was very quiet earlier, but now the storms are moving this way. You'll get it in a little while.
Yeah, that's what it is here in Albany, about 10 over noise.
KC3 KXB.
How you doing, Tom?
Doing good, Randy. Mike, Ray, and anybody else out there I missed?
So, Tom, I've been dying to ask you this. I was thinking about it today. And the question is, if insurance is paying for all those repairs on your house, why are you out there working every day?
Hey, I can't stand around and watch somebody work. So I help and do whatever I can.
Oh, okay.
You always have it from work, Ray. When one guy works, everybody works, and then when one guy sits down, everybody sits down. Work ethic.
You mean you don't go out there with your lounge chair and just bring it out, sit in the sun, and watch those guys work?
Absolutely not. That's not me.
I hear you.
Got a copy on K1 Adam, Henry Adam.
Hi, Dick.
I hear you, but you're not as strong as normal. You're an S8 and 1 DBL.
Yeah, okay, all right. Very good. Yeah, signals are not too good over here. I was thinking of changing my ladder line and shortening it out at the bottom and see it for a T antenna, see if that would work.
Haven't you changed that antenna about 5 or 6 times in the last year or two?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it the very best, but it's not working yet.
Well, the very best is a center-fed dipole with ladder line that comes right back to the tuner. The first best is a full wave loop with ladder line that comes right back to the tuner.
Okay, yeah, okay, I hear you. Coming in. I'm going to disconnect my antennas tonight anyway, but I don't know about the lightning coming right in the house.
Well, let me get this straight. The lightning's not going to come in on coax?
Yeah, it'll come in on the coax, but I can break that in the garage. I disconnected in the garage.
Well, Dick, if you can do it with coax, you can do exactly the same thing with ladder line.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's right. That is correct. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, okay, Ray. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I could do the same thing with the ladder line and just bring that in. Yeah, I could do that.
So what kind of feed line is on your antenna right now?
I've got RG213, 50 ohm. It's 50 RG6 off it. And I got RG213, I guess it's 50 ohm coax. About 20 feet of it buried in the ground coming over to the garage. And then about another 35 feet of RG8X, the small stuff coming into the radio, the tuner.
And how long's that stuff been buried?
That's about 20 feet. 20 feet.
How many years has it been underground?
I only put it on there maybe 5 years ago or less.
Yeah, okay, well, I think your biggest problem with your whole antenna system is that coax jury-rigged together with the small coax and trying to feed. What kind of antenna?
Center-fed dipole.
And how long is it?
100 feet on each side, just about.
Yeah, so you got real high vis wear. Well, You're just going to have to sit down someday and build the right antenna and open wire feed line and do it the right way. That's the only way. You know, you keep on screwing around with all that stuff, and you keep on, every time you do it, you do it Mickey Mouse. What's the point?
I know, just trying to make it work. The guy that you were talking to with the WA, I didn't even hear him. I couldn't hear him. No, I just couldn't hear him. But I'm glad you guys did. I couldn't.
Hell, I couldn't really hear him either. You know, he wasn't coming over this far. Okay, anyway, N1DBL.
Okay, Rick, thanks for coming back to me. We're supposed to have lightning over here about 10 o'clock, so I'm going to close down and disconnect. And wish you guys a good day tomorrow and 7-3 on this end.
Okay, Dick, 7-3. See you later. N1DBL.
Good night, Dick. 73, pal.
7-3, Randy. I hear you.
What do you mean you hear me? You hear me okay, don't you?
Yeah, I do. You're 20 plus, and Ray's 40 plus.
There's obviously something the matter with your antenna, Dick.
I'm sorry I said that. Oh boy, I'm always in the doghouse, I told you that.
He's got the most generous S-meter I've ever heard of.
It's got IPO when I put that on, too. That kind of takes the 10 dB, whatever, preamp off and gives a straight through signal. Anyway, that's what I got over here. Oh, boy.
Well, I don't know if he's got a generous S-meter, Ray. I mean, 40 over, you're that close. You know, Ray, Carl gets, 40 over here, and Mike, and we, back and forth each other, and Mark, and Randy,
Yeah, but I mean, he's like when he's really strong, he's 10 over. So if he had an amp, he'd be 20. And, I'm giving him 40. So his meter's rather generous.
Well, think about the efficiency or inefficiency of his antenna.
I can't tell anybody there.
So what are you doing with that airplane? Have you flown it yet?
You talking to me, Ray?
Well, how many people have an airplane?
He can't copy it, Ray.
Well, I don't know how he can't hear me, because I'm hearing him good.
Tom, he'd like to know what are you doing with your airplane?
So far, until I get down here, so far it's sitting. And it rains just about every day here.
Yeah, rains and hails, right?
I've never seen it like this.
Yeah, it's been crazy here, too. I don't think near as bad as Pennsylvania, though. There's been some hellacious storms going through Pennsylvania that missed us.
This is obviously caused by global warming.
I got a half an inch of rain already since dinner.
Yeah, 0.46 here.
Well, I'll tell you, every morning here, I mean, the other morning it was 46, like 3 days ago, it was 47 degrees in the morning. It was 51 the next day. It was 55 today. I mean, the weather is abnormally cold.
Monday we had frost. Tuesday it was 34. No, 38.
That's unheard of this time of year. The sun is obviously shrinking.
Longest stretch where we had no rain was 2 days.
"17 days in a row with no sunspots."
Well, there was Skip the other day on 6 meters and 10 meters.
Yeah, there was some today, a bunch of 7 land stations. I could hear the beacons coming in.
On which band?
6. Like Arizona, New Mexico, down that way.
Okay, I'm used to the Florida weather, and the only thing I can say about the weather up here, you got 9 months of winter and 3 months of cold, wet weather.
You ready to move? We're moving to Belize.
From Florida and up from Georgia. They're over at Cooperstown, and my cousin's son is on the team that won the Georgia State Championship, and they're doing really great in Cooperstown against all the other nationwide teams. And anyway, I was talking to my cousins and stuff yesterday, and the highs have been in the 50s, and they're like, holy cow, it's cold up here, you know. But the rest of the week it's supposed to be beautiful. We're supposed to be all sun Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's supposed to be just pure sun and warm temperatures, near 80 degrees, I think, on Sunday.
I can hardly wait. I had to bike out once to get it inspected, Pennsylvania inspection, and it's been sitting in the garage ever since.
I backed my bike out, rode down to the corner, drove it back in the barn. That's where she sits.
Fair weather riders.
I've been out a bunch of times.
I've got no desire. I've just been too busy. So much stuff to do around here. And I like doing stuff around here. I've been cleaning up the yard and cutting down some trees and things like this. And now I'm going to start my antenna project. So I'm not even sure how much I'll get on the bike this year. But, of course, when I saw the 3 days of sun, I thought, well, Sunday I have to go for a motorcycle ride.
There was a couple of guys at the steel mill that'd ride right up to the middle of December.
Yeah, we got 2 guys that ride every day to work, rain or not. They ride every day.
Well, let's see. In 1974, from April till November, my motorcycle was my only transportation.
Well, luckily mine's just out there for those days that I feel like getting on the back of the motorcycle. It needs to be cleaned too. It looks, it's like a barn find. It is. I wheel it out and I got to put it up on a stand and get it cleaned up real good. But it's a pig.
Yeah, geez, you should be up in Lake George this week.
No. I've done
it's Americade
rodeo a few times. Not for me anymore.
Americade's going on this week, so there's probably, 50, 60,000 bikes up there.
Yeah, 50,000 bikes, and they'll issue 200,000 tickets.
I remember I had to go up to Warrensburg to work on a generator or something. I was back in the mid-2000s. And it took me forever to get there because it was just Route 9. It was just miles and miles and miles of bikes following all these guys.
Hey, what happened with our pal out in Boston? I can't even think of his name. It's been so long since he was in here.
Scott.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, Scott. You know Scott.
Okay, Scott. What happened to him?
KD1Q.
Yeah, that's him.
I don't know. I've texted him on and off a few times, and we've texted back and forth. And the last few times we've texted, I sent a text. He hasn't responded. So I don't know what's up.
That's the nice thing about the Radio Shack, If you can't get down there every day, and when you finally do, it's just sitting there ready to go.
talking with Tim, K9TQ. Do you guys know? Do you guys know Tim?
I don't.
He's a great guy. What the heck? K9TQ. I can't think of his call very well. Anyway, he went in for surgery. He's got non-Hodgkin's lump in his neck, the size of a baseball, right? So he has that non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he had that operation done the other day. And I've been talking with him here, just checking in with him and stuff. And I guess he's doing pretty good. They gave him back his cells on Monday, and so far no infection or anything. So hopefully he'll fight this thing and kick its ass.
Yeah, it's amazing the stuff they can fix today.
Did he have anything to do with chemicals?
Ray, I don't know.
Because that's the one they were advertising on TV for Roundup.
Yeah, I didn't ask him about that. I probably should have. He's open. He'll talk to you about anything, so it's not like it'd be a problem to ask him.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta clean this shack up. It's a mess. Holy cow, I can't find anything.
Hey, I know a guy that can give you good lessons on a tidy shack.
Yeah, I know, Mike. I know. I know. You could too. I don't need lessons on a tidy shack. I can have a tidy shack. I can have a beautiful shack. I've done it many, many times. And then Hurricane Randy comes in.
Yeah, I just wish the dust didn't settle on everything, Everything looks real nice, and then like a month and a half later, if you get the light just right, where the heck did that come from?
Yeah, it's hard to keep the dust off stuff, especially when you have the windows open and the winds are blowing out there, so, whatever.
I don't usually open windows down here.
Yeah, I gave the wrong call. It's K9CQ. K9CQ, if you want to look him up. Tim's a great guy.
I used to always ventilate the house with the fan and everything, but now that I got the air conditioning, I usually keep going. And if it's remotely humid, I don't even open the windows.
Yeah, we don't use air conditioning here very often. Once in a while, we'll put it on. We don't have central air at all. It's just window air conditioners, and it's got to get pretty stinking hot for us to put air conditioners on, because it gets cool here at nighttime. It cools off pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's what I used to do. I lived here, 15, 18 years and never had air conditioning. Then I went to some window units. But what I used to do is I got a raised ranch, so my front door is half a stairways down to the basement and half up. And I'd open the door up at night and put a fan in there blowing upstairs and open all the windows and everything and get it nice and cool in the morning. And then I'd shut all the windows, close all the curtains, and it would keep cool pretty good, And the only time it was really uncomfortable is when the humidity got up.
Yeah, that's what Maureen does. We open the windows at night, and she closes them all up, closes the blinds, and then it's halfway cool when she gets home in the afternoon.
Yeah, but I got central air now. When I had the LP furnace put in, I had that added, so it's really nice.
Oh, there's nothing better than that, that's for sure. If it was up to me, that's what I would have. But, well, for one thing, I like the coal stove, and that doesn't lend itself very good for central air, you know. I guess it probably could, but Maureen, she just hates air conditioning. Well, doesn't hate it, but doesn't like it a whole lot.
Yeah, well, I had the oil hot air, then I took the oil furnace out, and geez, that LP furnace I got there, that thing is way more efficient. Plus, it took about half the space too, so I got a little bit more room there in the laundry room. Oh, and I rigged it up last week. So I can unplug it and plug a lead cord in from my generator, and that powers the furnace just fine. You know, when that thing's running, it only draws a couple amps. And I rigged up my pressure pump in my water tank in the basement too, so I can have water in the house as long as what I got in the tank holds out. Anyway, on that note, seeing as how it's approaching the 10 o'clock hour, I think I may go upstairs and eat some wheat. So I will talk to all you guys tomorrow or the next day. WG2E.
Okay, I was just saying goodnight to Maureen. I was going to ask you before you go. Now, you're rigging this stuff up, but don't you have a generator that you can just run the house? I mean, what size is your generator?
It's a 3,500 watt inverter generator, but it's only 110. So I can't, run the water heater or the well pump or anything. But I have a 200 gallon storage of water in the house. So, but it's got a pressure pump that keeps the pressure in the house, and that runs on 110. So I can run that off the generator. So, I can have water in the summertime, and I can heat the house in the wintertime now, as long as I have gasoline, of course.
Yeah, okay. All right, very good. All right, that's cool. I use my welder and just backfeed the one outlet, and bingo, I got the whole house lit up, so that works out pretty good. But I understand what you're doing.
So it's not too unwieldy that I can't pick it up and throw it in the back of the truck or put it in my little cart behind the lawn tractor. As a matter of fact, it's got a 90-day money-back guarantee, but I figured I'd better get some hours on it. So the other day, I plugged a 1,300-watt electric heater into it, and then I ran a long lead cord out, and I was using my electric hedge trimmers, and I was putting a pretty good load on it. So it's kind of nice. Plus, being that it's the inverter rather than directly driven generator, the frequency is dead on all the time, and it's a beautiful sine wave. Yeah, I looked at it at the scope.
Yeah, you were saying that the other day. That's interesting. I've never checked mine. I imagine my welder's not all that clean,
Well, you can look at the waveform, and depending on how well the windings are made and constructed in the generator, if it's a really good, well-built one, you'll get a good sine wave, regardless of frequency. But if you look at it on an oscilloscope, you'll see on the top where it should be a nice rounded sine wave. It's a big jaggedy thing on some of the cheaper and more poorly built generators. And then, of course, if, when you're pulling a load and you hear the engine slow down on your welder, then if it's slowing down, then it's dropping in frequency. It needs to be at 3,600 or 1,800, depending on the poles of your generator. So, that's maybe not so important for a furnace motor or something like that, but I would be worried about electronics.
Yeah, I was worried about when I had this rig on a generator, and everything was fine there. Everything seemed to work fine. And then I put the amplifier on, and it ran the amplifier just fine. But I wasn't sure how clean it was. I didn't break out the scope and check. I should have.
Well, yeah, I'd be careful of my electronics in any case. Okay, well, talk to you guys later. We'll see you. WG2E.
Excuse me. Good night. Yep, 73 car. I'm going to check out too, 10 o'clock and all that. So I'm not going to go have any wheat though. I've had my 3 glasses of water. I'm going to go to bed. 73 everybody. KB2 ZVP.
Good night, Randy. 73s. KC3 KXB.
See you, Tom.
Hey, good night, sir. I'm going to do the same. 73s, guys.
Sleep well, Tom.
Yeah, you also.